I've got my tea and my yoga mat ready. Get yours out and come along. I'm going to show you how to leverage your energy and live in more peace inside your body. Come on. Welcome to Whole Self Unity's monthly workshop series. These free self-care classes often have practical exercises for you to try at home in your own time. Workshops upload on the fourth Tuesday of each month. Enjoy this month's offering. Hey, I'm Amy. I'm a Unity Fire Reiki Master teacher and a lifelong energy worker. I'm here to walk you through some concepts about grounding, including how to use the earth to increase your own physical sense of peace and tranquility in your daily life. Now, this may sound a little far-fetched, but it's the same way that we ground out, say, lightning with a lightning rod so that it doesn't affect the people in the building. We're going to be doing the same sort of thing, just metaphysically with our imaginations, with visualization and a meditation. So the workshop takes about an hour. It will include a conceptual discussion. So, if you're so inclined, pour yourself some tea, some coffee, some water. Hydration's definitely a good idea. Always. And if you want to skip around, there's a full chapter list and timestamp information in the doobly-doo. So in the description, you'll also find some links out to additional materials that you might find useful. The beautiful thing is the content and the meditation are suitable for anybody, regardless of whether if you're a practice meditator, an energy worker, a big healer type, or if you're just a complete novice and you got here because you're wondering what everybody means when they're saying you got to ground. And part of having that timestamp in there is that if you want to skip the discussion we're going to have and just get right to the meditation, you're welcome to do that. Also, if you want to do the talk first, and maybe you're at work watching this and you can't really meditate, so you can kind of mark the video and come back and do the meditation when you've got time and space to do that. Maybe when your little kids are sleeping or your animals are out of the way and you have some privacy to engage in a good grounding and a little self-care. So what I'm going to show you are the same techniques that I use to kind of navigate some of the worst times in my life. I don't put myself forward as a guru. I'm not here as a person to be followed. I certainly don't have all the answers. I will tell you that when times are really rough, and the thing I'm thinking about right now is like the time I had to navigate leaving Paradise, California when everything was on fire. Gridlock traffic, pitch black outside, everything's burning, flames within sight, and there's no place to go. So the best thing I could do in that situation, so that I made good decisions and not panicked decisions, not emotional decisions, not reactive decisions, making things worse for myself and my neighbors who were all trying to escape, was to ground and to be fully present to the moment, even if the news is bad. And that's the thing about grounding, is even if things are intense, even if things are not fun, when you are well grounded, you're still able to stay calm and to make rational, good, ethical, moral, we could put all kinds of adjectives on their decisions that are authentic to you and your identity and who you want to be, versus making decisions from your emotional state, which will fluctuate. So that's why I'm bringing this. I think everybody can use a little bit more peace in their daily life. And this is one way to sort of plug into that, plug into the earth, into the grounding power of the earth. And again, same way as we would use a lightning rod, so that when those intense situations come up and our biochemistry gets all triggered and upset and we get emotional and reactive and fight or flight kicks in, that we can tap into the earth. We can offload the stuff that isn't needed in that moment and cling to who we authentically are, with peace, with tranquility, and with much better outcomes. All right. So the title to this talk is basically a beginner's guide, but aren't we all beginners? Beginner's guide to using the earth and your body to cultivate balance and tranquility. So here's what we're about to do. I've kind of gone over the intro, where we're heading, what we're trying to do, sort of explain why the method I'm presenting in this video is different than what you might find elsewhere, is I'm going to kind of cover what other people might be describing as grounding and go over some exercises for that. We're going to talk about earthing, which is a kind of a deeper way of getting out and actually grounding yourself in the physical present and in your physical body. Then we're going to talk about metaphysically grounding as well as physically grounding. And we're going to do that by talking about how the human energy field is actually a great big circuit. We're actually transistors. So we're going to talk a little bit about the concept of transistors. You're probably not going to understand transistors just from this talk to the point that you can, create one or wire one up. But I will show you how that concept can be used to help you manage your energy field. So it's an image, it's an allegory. If you feel like studying transistors after this, more power to you. So we're going to start with that basic definition. We're going to get conceptually rich, but easy, and then end with a meditation that will take about 20 minutes and a practical tool that you can revisit again and again and again. So, grounding with meditation and with psychology means that you're being fully present in the moment and in the body. It's that be here now sort of phrase or concept. And that includes being fully present in your body. Sometimes when you are very upset, or if you've experienced a lot of crisis or trauma, then the appearance of more crisis and trauma can kind of take you out of your body and take you out of the present moment and into a memory in a very intense and even with a physical response, the adrenaline shock, and then all of a sudden you're back in a place that you were in maybe many years before. So grounding means that you're fully present, you're fully aware, and fully in control of yourself. One of the ways that this is shown, especially with people who have suffered trauma and are recovering from that, an exercise that's frequently taught in the counseling and psychology field, is a sensory exercise. And you may have seen these before. In fact, if you search grounding in Google really fast, you're probably going to come up with an image that's like 5 things you can see. So the whole idea is to get you to slow down and work through a process that helps you find your body in the present moment. And then hopefully by the time you've done that, you've had a couple of deep breaths, you've been focused on something other than what's triggering or upsetting you or causing the biochemical storm that's going on within your body. And you're able to kind of see the problem with a little bit better perspective. So that's the point of grounding in that sort of psychological and counseling field. So it starts with 5 things you can see. So if we just sit here for a moment, we're going to walk through this grounding exercise. And I'm going to say, I see my computer, I see my microphone, I see Buddha over my shoulder, and my flashlights I had to set up because my living room lights just died as I started to film this. I see my teacup. I see. The next thing is 4 things you can feel. So I can feel my chain around my neck and my hair that's kind of brushing across my arm. I feel my headphones on my ears because I'm not used to feeling those. I feel the chair under my seat. So you can get really in depth in those feelings and those sensations. And again, it's to take you away from the shattering effect of a traumatic memory and ground you in the present. So here's where I am now. Here's what my body feels. Here's what I can see. The next stage of this exercise is 3 things you can hear. So I can hear the sound of my own voice. You can probably hear that as well. I also hear that my chair is creaking slightly, and that I have the oven on, so I can just hear that in my microphone. You can probably hear it too. I'm going to try to pass that out of the audio so it doesn't disrupt you, but I'm baking something. 2 things I can smell, and I can smell what I'm baking, and I can also smell a candle that I have burning. So it's kind of a weird little mixture. And one thing I can taste. So sometimes with this exercise, it might be handy to pop a candy in your mouth, take a sip of something. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. And that's nice. It's a nice little green tea. And that's the sensory, not a meditation, it's an exercise that is really sort of the basics of grounding. Now, earthing is a little bit different. Earthing means that you are making conscious choices in your actions and your environment to get present and connected with the earth. So, if you look up earthing on Google, you're going to see people who are gardening, who are walking barefoot, who are hugging a tree, who are spending some time outside with the sun shining on their face and their bare feet, maybe in the sand, in the dirt, working with other living things. So, earthing is more about establishing that connection in the earth. So, again, the benefits are that you're going to be more present. You're going to recognize that you have choices in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions when you are settled in and grounded. And then, if you're earthing as well, that's going to give you the same sort of benefits. What I'm presenting for you guys is taking these two sort of basic concepts, these basic simple ways of grounding, and combining them. So, we're going to really cultivate that connection with the earth whether or not you're able to walk on her in your bare feet at the current moment. I'm going to show you how to metaphysically ground and have that connection with her, earthing, from a meditation. And we're also going to get really present in the body, feeling the sensations of not only your physical body, but of your energetic field. So that's how we're going to take these concepts further. Bringing in grounding can help you connect your energy field to the earth and the universe at the same time. And that's what we're going to do in our meditation. So this connection allows you deep relationship with the source of all energy. However you choose to conceive of that or name it. Some people call it God, or some people call it Brahman, or some people call it prana, or some people call it chi, or some people call it, I'm not here to tell you what to call it or how to conceive of that. I'm just here to remind you that there is a power that turns the planets, and there is a power that holds the molecules together. And whether you approach that from a spiritual or a scientific or somewhere in the middle sort of conceptualization in your own reality, in your own world, it's important to acknowledge that we are only a small piece of all that is around us. And what I'm going to ask you to do in this meditation is tap in not only to that source of everything, however you choose to name it, whatever relationship you choose to have with it, that's between you and source. I'm not here to preach. And then we're also going to take that and tap into our physical source, which is the earth, the source from which we all sprung, the source that nourishes your cells and feeds them, the source that allows the DNA chains to keep going and going and going. Again, however you choose to conceptualize that, it's important that we recognize that we have a relationship with these things and that we can improve those relationships and improve our own state of being by just turning attention to it and tapping into it consciously. So that's really what we're doing with grounding. So it's allowing us to settle in, to know that we're safe, hanging here between the universe and the earth, that this deep connection that we have allows us to make to 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 get out of our own way, to recognize that we are deeply connected to the universe, to the earth, to each other, to this energy that flows through us. And that allows us to be present in our body in the current time and space. It helps us make more rational, more authentic choices instead of being a slave to our own projections, our own reactions, our own trauma and past and memories. So, having this feeling of safety leads to more peace on the inside. So, in order to really feel that sense of safety, that sense of connection, we need to actually actively foster it. And we'll be doing that with this meditation. So we're going to take this concept of connection, we're going to explore it. The reason the connection can settle in is it allows our human energy system to fully connect as an electrical circuit with the earth and with the universe, which is the power supply. The earth is our ground and the universe is our power supply. So it sounds like we're about ready to talk about um, the concept of circuits. Let's do that. So maybe the first thing you're thinking right now is we're we talking about electrical circuits. I came here to find out about grounding. Well, let me first emphasize that everything is energy. The human body is a sophisticated energetic circuit all on its own. And learning a few general facts about electrical circuits can help you use your body and your energy system more efficiently. So circuits can short out, they can blow when they're not grounded. In a house that's not properly grounded, the lights might dim or burn out, especially if the power fluctuates or if there's more power coming in than the circuits can handle. So one of the things that happens is the lights can flicker and dim, and it's a sign that things aren't properly grounded. And it's also a sign that the input of power, the flux, is either fluctuating or it's more than the circuits can handle. And in really extreme situations, this can cause a fire or a complete power outage. Can short the circuit and safety features will shut it down. And this gets stabilized by introducing a ground. Now, I want you to go back and listen to everything I just said, or think about what I just said, and apply it to the human energy system. In other words, if you're not properly grounded, then fluctuations in the incoming power from the universe or from the world or from your life experience can cause you to begin to shut down. It can cause you to become less efficient in your use of power. You're not able to do as much as you were doing before because you're trying to regulate the power circuit and keeping the energy flowing consistently. The lack of ground causes us to not use power well, and we make our own sorts of brownouts when we're not grounded. So ground, when we return to the electrical sort terms, grounding is actually relative. So if you start studying circuits, if you haven't done so already, when you study circuits, ground is a relative term. There's no magic number that we say, okay, if we have a circuit, like we have a light switch with a power source that we want to turn on and we want to ground that out. There's no magic number that I can look up in some electrical engineering textbook that's going to say, okay, in order to ground a circuit like that, I'm going to need this much grounding power. It doesn't work like that. A ground is always relative. Whatever your input of flat power is, and we're tapping into the universe, right? We're tapping into all power potentially available. The power that turns planets and expands galaxies. If we're tapping into that, that's a pretty big power source. We're going to need a pretty big ground. Now, if we're just using a little tiny 9-volt battery, our ground doesn't need to, well, it shouldn't exceed 9 volts. Ground is less than the power source. But the ground is limited by its size. When we plug into the earth, it's the biggest type of ground that any of us on this planet can access. And that's why when you talk about connecting a ground wire directly to the earth, in electrical terms, it's considered that you have tapped into an infinite ground because it's the biggest type of grounding out that we can do while we're on this planet. Stands to reason then, if you're going to be accessing universal life force energy and working with it in an efficient and authentic way, that you need to tap into that infinite ground of the earth as part of the work. When you do that, your circuits will function more clearly, more cleanly. You'll have less power outages, and you'll have fewer brownouts, and you will not endanger your physical system by tapping into those extreme amounts of inputs that are flowing in. So ground is relative. The more power coming in, the bigger your ground needs to be. And the most infinite ground that we can reach on this planet is through the earth. So the components of a circuit need to create this balance between the inflow and the ground. So the ground actually adds power to the circuit, at least the circuit we're going to be talking about, but it also acts as kind of an overflow. So that if the inflow gets too high for the circuit and there's a ground already bringing a little power in, it has a place to kind of offload and go to without burning out our human energy systems. So there are three things that we need in order to open a circuit, and we're going to be talking about transistors specifically. Open a circuit to large amounts of input. You have your input, your power source. You have an output, which is a use of the power. Guess what? That's you. That's you. That's me. That's the person inside your body who's going to be taking that universal energy and using it to live your life, to breathe, to digest your food, to connect with Aunt Marge, to play with your kids, whatever it is that you do on your daily life, you're going to be able to do it better when you're using your universal life force power that you have access to, that we each have access to, a little more efficiently. And that's going to become more efficient when we connect in and ground deeply with the earth. So that connection, that ground, is actually a secondary power source. It just needs to have less power than the input. And if the input's the universe, the earth is definitely smaller. We have that proportion all worked out. It's beautiful. It's just a matter of tapping in and making it just a little bit more conscious as we go about our daily lives. When you create a circuit with these components, the input, the output, the ground, you're actually creating a very powerful circuit called a transistor. Now, I'm not going to give a big talk about what a transistor is. Anybody who's my age and probably has a few gray hairs, you understand the transistor revolutionized the way we approach electronics. It's what made computers go from being the size of rooms and buildings to being able to be held in the palm of our hands. Because circuit creates in a very small space an amplification of the power that doesn't bring a lot of heat because of that ground relationship that actually takes the inputs and bumps them up a notch. So again, this transistor concept really draws a great parallel for us in our human energy field. When you create a circuit with these components, input, output, and ground, you're actually creating that transistor. And that sort of transistor construction has the ability to boost or increase the power within the circuit. So, now wait. Let's start talking about the human energy system instead of house wiring. We have the ability to turn our own energetic system into a transistor. And all we need is to tap into a source of power and a slightly smaller secondary source of power as a ground, and then a way for us to use the power that's coming into the circuit. Now, I think you have plenty of ways to use that power, right? I think so too. So, daily life will consume that energy. So let's talk about the circuit information. Start talking about a grounding exercise just a little bit. So, we're going to be working through a meditation in a few moments that helps us connect with two separate energy sources. Both are gargantuan compared to our tiny human bodies, but one is larger than the other. Can you guess what we're tapping into? The source of all energy in the universe, all energy beyond the earth. Now you can name this whatever you like. Maybe you already have a relationship with this universal source. And I say universal source because I don't want to introduce my own concepts about what that is or what I call it or what my relationship is with it. I say universal source because then whatever your relationship is with your source of all things, whether you have a specific name for it, a religious practice, a devotional thing that you do, or maybe it's not spiritual at all and it's purely scientific, I'm not here to color that for you or tell you what it is. And so I use kind of a generalized, not sanitized, but it doesn't have a lot of semantic layers of meaning to the term. So I say source of all energy so that there's room for you to still have your unique relationship, your terms, your cosmology, your religion, your science, whatever it is for you, right here in the middle of this conversation. So we're talking about using the source of all energy in the universe, all energy beyond the earth. You can name it whatever you like. Maybe you already have a name for it. Maybe you don't. You can use mine, source of all things. I like to think that this power input is the source of our life force energy. Maybe that's the soul. I don't really know. I don't know what makes a soul. Maybe you have a better handle on that than me. And the part of us that is a living consciousness, though, I think we can all agree that there is a difference between a live body and a body that is no longer alive. And that difference, we've spent all of human history arguing about what it is, how to quantify it, whether it's measurable, what started it. We're not going to have the answers to that right now, but know when I talk about your life force energy, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe that's a soul. Maybe that's just your consciousness. Maybe it's something that shows up and departs. I do know that Newton's first law of thermodynamics is that all energy cannot be created or made or destroyed, but simply changes forms. And that we are, in our consciousness in these bodies, a form that will change. Death, yeah, none of us escapes. I don't know what that means. I'm not here to answer that question. But when I talk about that life force energy, I'm talking about that thing, that je ne sais quoi, that soul, that energy, that thing that animates these bodies and creates your consciousness and makes you present in a conglomeration of cells as an organism on this planet at this time. There is a part of us that's a living consciousness and that it leaves the body at death. That special something that makes us alive and who we are, I like to think of that as it's all one energy. It's from one energy source. It's just changed form to be here in this body right now. That all-encompassing energy, it turns the planets, it expands the galaxies, will be our focus as our power input. And we will be drawing power from that during our meditation. And then the second source we're going to draw from and connect into our individual human circuitry is the earth. All of the physical components of your body draw their origin and source from the earth, as your ancestors did, all the way back. Our bodies come together from elements, from water, nutrition, bacteria, food resources. They all come from our physical home, which is this planet. Now, yeah, if you want to get technical and really scientific, some of those elements came from the explosions of stars. So how beautiful is that? Some of those inorganic elements that are in your body are just reincarnated stars. So our bodies come together, but it all comes from what was here available on this planet. This is our secondary power. And when we tap into it, it's going to allow us to draw from universal source more deeply without shorting out, without browning out, without crashing. Having the earth as a ground will maintain balance and efficiency in your energetic circuit, just from a technical standpoint. From a metaphysical standpoint, that allows us to draw more power from the inputs, the universe, when we need a boost to help stabilize our systems and allow us to make decisions from a place of peace and tranquility that we're able to experience in our body despite any sort of havoc that's going on around us. The third component of the circuitry that we're going to be building with this meditation is our whole self. Whole self. That's the physical body, the part that digests food, that breathes air, that metabolizes and moves and generates more power from movement, from work, from intentional choices. We are the conscious animation that leverages the power flowing through us from the universe, the home to our metaphysical selves, our energy, and the earth, the home to our physical selves, our bodies, the shell that houses that energy. By grounding and connecting deeply, we can come to better mindful awareness, more present consciousness, more efficient use of energy that does not drain or exhaust us. In short, we find a way of occupying our body that's more relaxed, more tranquil, more peaceful. And from that space, we can pilot our flesh suits a little better and have energy to spare when it's really needed. So, that being said, let's get started. Are you ready to meditate? Let's get ready. So, I see that I have really fun, messy hair. Why didn't you tell me? I don't mind. We're getting ready to meditate. Things are going to get way messier here in a second. So, we're about to head into a deep meditation that's going to require you to fully relax and to breathe deeply for about 20 minutes. You're going to have a better experience with that if you're in a safe space that's going to allow you to close your eyes and basically take a nap for 20 minutes. So if you need to come back to the video later, feel free. We've got the bookmarks in place so that you can do that. And if you're not set up to do a deep meditation, I'm just going to remind you that if you have to come back to the meditation, you might as well subscribe. Or even save the video or share it or send it around. So, bookmark it anyway so you can do this part of the video as often as you need. First, let's get you some time, some space to prepare yourself for this experience. If you need to pause the video, use the restroom, get a drink of water, stretch for a minute, please feel free. Your body should feel comfortable and able to relax. So that's kind of step one. That's meditation 1A. If your body is not in a place where it can be still for 20 minutes, you're going to probably have a miserable time, and your mind's not going to be able to tune down, especially if you're really thirsty or you have to use the restroom. Take a moment to prepare yourself physically for the experience. Now, second, you need to gather some things to do or to access to make your meditation more comfortable. So some folks will prefer to do this type of meditation sitting. Others might prefer to lie down. If you need a yoga mat, a cushion, a chair, a pillow, a blanket, gather what you need to have a 20-minute session of deep relaxation. So what I will tell you is that this meditation will go better for you if you're able to put your feet flat on the floor at least the first few times that you do it. So it might be good to have a chair that you can sit in that's going to have a back on it, that's going to allow you to have good posture and breathe fully with your feet flat on the floor. And then you can just kind of relax into the chair and maintain some good breathing posture. Or if you would rather lay down, I'd like you to start, or at least try out, a posture of laying down with your knees up so that your feet are flat on whatever surface that you've got. So it'll make some of the things, the images that we're going to visualize, a little easier to conceptualize or feel as you walk through the exercise. And again, as you get practiced, you're probably not going to need that little sort of aid to visualization, and you can do it from any position. Make sure that you gather what you need to get comfortable. Feel free to light a candle or some incense or to put some essential oils on. I'm going to have some soft music under the meditation, so you shouldn't have to get anything additional as far as electronics and that kind of thing. Put your phone on silent. Be sure that you're unplugged for a little bit. Do what you need to do for yourself to have some private, uninterrupted time in a safe and comfortable space. All right. Last, we've prepared ourselves, our bodies, so that we're physically able to sort of do this self-care exercise and tune out for about 20 minutes. We've prepared our spaces so that they're able to support us in this work that we're about to do in self-care and meditation. And the last thing we're going to do here is to set a very clear intention. So let's prepare an intention together that this meditation will provide a sense of security and peace. And that the function is to balance your energy flow through your body and leave you feeling deeply connected both with universal energy, source, and the earth as your ground. Then when you're ready, simply settle in and press play. So as we begin the meditation, go ahead and get comfortable. Just settle in. Make sure that your spine is straight and that your lungs have the space they need and to fully expand as you breathe. Take 3 or 4 full, deep breaths. We'll be using this breath to facilitate the meditation. Be sure that you have room to expand your belly, to expand your ribs, and take full, deep breaths. Before we begin the active part of this meditation, understand and know that some will see clear images as we navigate the inner space of this meditation. Others will have a more vague sense of maybe blurry or impressionistic images or splashes of color. Others may simply feel things very deeply. Still others may just have a sense of knowing that this journey is unfolding as described. So when I ask you to visualize, I'm asking you to receive the information of your mind's eye in whatever way is unique to you. There's no right or wrong way to interact with this meditation except perhaps to judge yourself. Simply accept that your mind's eye, your imagination, your inner space is unfolding to you in just the right way. Embrace it, encourage it, and accept it. Let go of any expectation that your experience will unfold in a certain way, and simply allow it to come to you as it comes. Accept the information, breathe, and allow the experience to deepen. And as we begin in earnest, we've checked our posture, we've checked our breath. Take a nice deep breath all the way down through the trunk of your body, allowing your belly to expand, the ribs to expand, the chest to expand. And as you exhale, imagine that that exhale is pure, effervescent, white and gold and silver light, shimmering as it comes from your nose and mouth. Draw another inhale in and imagine this light filling your physical self and expanding around you in all directions. This light is energy, so it's able to pass through you and through whatever surface you're sitting or lying upon. And it's forming a great big bubble of light all around you, an arm's length from your physical body in all directions. And as we expand on your next inhale, with the exhale, imagine the 3-foot space in front of your face, in front of your chest, your belly, in front of the tops of your legs is filling with this beautiful effervescent silver, gold, and white light, shimmering, swirling, dancing. Then inhale again, exhale, and allow it to expand to your right, an arm's length from your physical body, all up and down your right side. And with the next breath, another inhale in, bringing that light into your body, filling your physical self. And as you exhale, it's filling this bubble that surrounds you behind the back of your head, behind the back of your neck, behind the back of your shoulders and trunk, behind your hips and bottom, behind the backs of your legs. 3 feet behind you with the exhale, shimmering with gold and silver and white light. And now with the next breath, we're going to exhale and fill the space to the left side of your body from head to toe. Exhaling and filling that space. That bubble is now around you, front, back, left, and right. And now with this next breath, we're going to expand the bubble above the top of our head. If we were standing, this would be extending toward the ceiling. So if you're sitting up, it's extending toward the ceiling. If you're lying down, it's still just extending beyond the top of your head, 3 feet. Now there's only one more direction we can move in, and that's below the bottoms of our feet. If you were standing, you would be expanding right down into the earth. If you're sitting down, you're also going to be expanding down into the surface your feet are laying on. If you're laying down and you have your feet up so that they're flat, this is exactly what we're going to do, expanding from the bottoms of our feet, 3 feet in that direction. Now take 3 or 4 nice deep breaths and really enjoy this feeling of safety. What I want you to notice is as we did this exercise, expanding this beautiful, protective, and safe bubble of light around us, this is the majority of our energy field. It is the strength of our energy field, the core of our being rooted in our physical selves. What I want you to notice as you begin this meditation and I walk you through the directions, I want you to notice that if there's any place that it's hard to send the light, that's going to be a place that in subsequent meditations, you can attempt to fill more strongly with light. A lot of times in modern society, we spend so much time in our heads that our light bubbles like to cut off at our knees or our ankles. And it can be hard to encompass our full physical body within that egg. If you're a person that's going to struggle with this, then you are in the right place. grounding is exactly what you need. And that as you practice with this meditation, I want you to work with inviting that bubble to go lower and lower until it easily not only encompasses your full physical body, but also extends easily 3 feet beyond the bottom of your tissues. So now I want you to tune in to the roots of your metaphysical and physical self. We're going to start by turning our attention to the balls of our feet. I want you to picture a glowing ball of red light at the balls of your feet. It should be clear. It should be a beautiful, brilliant red like a ruby or a garnet, or maybe the red of a rainbow. And it should be about the size, each one should be about the size of your clenched fist. Each of us have different sized fists, so that ball of that wheel of your energy is always going to be in proportion to your body. The ball of each foot. Now at the same time, knowing that those 2 red balls of light are at the balls of each foot, turn your attention to the base of your spine. Anatomically, I'd like you to turn your attention to the space that is between your sex organs and your elimination organ, between your rectum and your sex organs. This is the perineum, and I want you to picture another fist-sized ball of red light. If you're unsure where this is, it's basically the same place that you're sitting on if you were to sit up. And this ball of red light is the root chakra. And it is about half in and half outside your body, just like the balls on the balls of your feet. Take a couple breaths and just relax into this. If you're not seeing these balls of light, that's fine. Know that they are there and receive the information however it chooses to reveal itself to you. Now, these 3 fist-sized balls of light in the balls of your feet and at the base of your spine, they're going to grow roots for you. And we're going to send these roots down into the earth. We're going to empower that growing of roots with the breath. So again, taking a nice deep breath from the belly, with intention, sending roots down from your tripod balls of light, the base of the spine, and the balls of each foot, extending a tripod from your body down into the surface that you're either sitting or lying upon, and down into the earth. Now, I've done this exercise and managed to send my roots down into the earth from 36,000 feet in an airplane. It doesn't matter whether you're on the 36th floor or you're on the ground floor. We can do this exercise. Sometimes it takes a little longer to connect to the earth if you're farther off the earth, but allow yourself the time to do that. Continue to breathe and allow those roots to grow. One thing that may help the visualization of this exercise is to turn those roots into some substance in your mind's eye that feels secure, that feels solid, that feels strengthening, that's going to offer you stability. So sometimes beams of light will work for you. Other times you might find that you want to grow roots that are made of wood. Or sometimes I've made them out of glass because that felt best. And sometimes I've made them out of rebar in my mind's eye. Use whatever works best for you in this now moment, and recognize that in a different meditation, you might have a desire to make those roots out of something completely different. Listen to your intuition and simply allow those roots to expand with the breath. With each exhale, allow them to go a little deeper. Allow them to move through the floor if you're in a building. Allow them to move down through the building if there's multiple floors until you find the foundation. With the breath, continue to move those roots down into the earth under you. And take a moment, observe, or know, or feel, see, or hear what the earth is like under the place where you are sitting or lying right now. Is it hard packed? Is there gravel? Is it sandy? Are there tree roots or other types of plant roots? Are there pipes or wires? Is there water? Take another deep breath and send the roots a little deeper. And notice how the layers and stratification of the earth begins to change as you move through it. Notice that the rocks become larger. You may find underground water sources as we go. Continue to breathe and send your roots a little deeper with each exhale, with each inhale. Continue to breathe and move deeper into the earth with your mind's eye. What we're looking for is a thick shelf of hard, uninterrupted rock. We're looking for bedrock. And when you find bedrock, take the roots that you've been sending down, that tripod of roots, and allow them to begin to divide, just the way plant roots can. Divide and grasp and root deeply into that shelf of bedrock, so that there's no way you could be disconnected from the source of your physical needs, from the source of your physical resources. You and the earth are one. And as we allow that division to continue, begin to realize that there is a beautiful silver energetic light that the earth is offering to you. And with gratitude, accept this beautiful gift. And with the inhale now, imagine that beautiful silver light being sipped up through your roots, up through the tripod, and into your body. Gently, with each inhale, sip and draw upon this beautiful silver earth energy, this light of life in the body on this planet. With each inhale, Draw that silver light up through your roots. Bring it closer and closer, retracing your journey back to the foundation of the building you're in. Back to the floor, back to your body, up your legs and up your trunk and into your heart. And allow this beautiful gift of silver earth energy to overflow and fill your body with silver, nourishing earth light. This same light that provides fresh water, that provides the nutrients that plants and animals and you require to live upon this planet. We are one organism, this life, this planet. And allow that silver light to intensify with each breath. Fill your physical self and just gently allow it to expand and fill the safe bubble that is your energy field, extending from your physical self on all sides, front, back, right, left, above, below, 3 feet in all directions. Now sparkling and shimmering, empowered with that beautiful silver light. And now, when you're ready, we're going to complete the circuit. We have completed our connection with the ground. Let us now tap into our power source, which lies beyond the planet. Turn the attention to another ball of light at the top of your head. This ball of light at the very crown of your head is a beautiful violet color, and it is also half in or half out of your body. It's called the crown chakra. And as you breathe, allow a beautiful beam of white light to extend up from your crown and toward the sky. As this beam takes your consciousness with it and you empower it to climb further and further up through the building you're in, up through the tops of trees, up through and above the sky, above mountains, into the cloud layer, above the clouds. Allow that to become your tree trunk. And just like we did with our roots, you can make that out of anything you like. Sometimes it helps to visualize a beautiful tree, but you might have a different idea in your mind's eye. But take your consciousness and take your tree trunk and grow it up through the clouds, up through the layers of the atmosphere, up to where you can see the curvature of the earth and the air begins to thin. Extend this tree trunk beyond the curvature of the atmosphere and move into the blackness of space. Now you may travel or you may just simply branch out here, but the point here is to draw on the energy that comes from beyond the earth. That may be the solar system. You may have your sights on a larger expansion, the galaxy, multiple galaxies, the known universe. But allow yourself, as you get beyond Earth's atmosphere, to branch your trunk, just as you did with your roots. branching and branching into smaller and smaller fibers. Maybe put up some sails or some leaves or something to gather the energy from this beyond space, from the universe, to draw it in, to sip on this beautiful golden healing energy as it is being offered to you. With gratitude, accept this golden healing light and begin to pull it down through your twigs, your leaves, your branches. Bring it back to your primary trunk. Bring it back to the curvature of the Earth's atmosphere. And with the breath, drawing this gold, beautiful, nourishing energy down, sip upon it. Bring it into your energy field. Bring it down, down through the layers of the atmosphere, down through the cloud layers, down through the tops of trees, the ceiling, and into the top of your head. Continue to sip. Notice that that silver light is still coming into your heart from the earth below. And now as you sip upon the golden light, moving it with intention, we're going to bring it to your heart where the golden universal energy and the silver earth energy mix and dance and intertwine and spin together at great speed. This golden light now, release it from just your heart and allow it to travel throughout your body so that every cell in your body is nourished not only from the nutrients and the energy of the earth, but from the all-encompassing life force energy that turns planets, the golden energy of the universe, also bathing every cell that it may be healthy and happy and complete its work, its assigned work within your organism, within your body, just perfectly and with joy. And now allow that golden light to simply expand into the safe bubble that is your energy field, 3 feet from you in all directions. And now we will complete the circuit, as although the circuit is completed and you are now empowered fully by the universe, connected above and below, connected to the universe and to the earth, so that you are empowered to direct that energy efficiently and in a balanced way, in an authentic way as you live your life. There is also something that you can do for both the energy of the universe and for the earth, and that is to allow universal energy to flow through you, not just to your heart, but down through your feet and down through the roots and into the earth, even as the earth offers you her silver earth light. That golden universal energy will also be returned to her from beyond her and into her core. As you draw that silver earth energy up through your feet and into your heart, allow it to expand as well, out through your branches and leaves and into the universe. You are the link in this universal energy exchange, hovering here, the connection between earth and sky and universe and earth. You walk upright with a tall spine for a reason. This is your heritage and your role energetically on this planet. And now you are fully connected and able to do that work consciously, with intention, from safety and peace, enjoying the deep connection that you share with both the sky and the earth. Take a few moments to drift here, grateful for the connections, feeling this sense of peace. Know that this connection is always with you, but that consciously empowering it regularly with practice through this exercise through your own practice that develops because of this exercise, will allow you to connect and grow in your relationship with both of your energy sources, which will allow you to ground at will at any time without having to take a 20-minute meditation to do so. Practice makes perfect. And when you are ready, this exercise is complete. If you choose to drift here for a few more minutes, feel free, hit pause if you need to. But at this point, our work through this meditation is complete. And when you are ready, take a moment to bring your breathing to a more conscious state of your physical body. Taking a deep breath, and instead of dwelling or focusing on the energetic sources that are around you and the bubble, and let's focus on your cells and your body. How does it feel? How do your lungs expand and contract when you take a breath? Become more conscious of your body here in this present moment. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome back, friends. I hope that experience increased your peace and tranquility. You should feel solidly rooted in your body, alert, conscious of yourself and your environment. Congratulations. And welcome back to consensual reality from inner space. Know that you can return to this state anytime you like. And as you become more practiced, it will be easier and more routine to come back to this fully connected and balanced state. So my suggestion is do this exercise often so it can become second nature. And so that when you really need it, because we all have crisis at some point, we all have emotional upset and difficult days and hard times at some point. When you need it, this practice should just feel like slipping your hand in a glove. If it's practiced and routine, it's easy to get to this state without having to walk through the entire exercise. So here's just a quick rundown of how this meditation can benefit your daily life. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm going to give you some conclusions. So if you become more practiced at it, this deep grounding can prevent you from shorting out. You know, the busier you get, the more stressful your life gets, the more crisis and upheaval and change comes into your life. The chances of shorting out or not being able to cope are high. And if you become more practiced at this grounding meditation, you're going to be able to kind of navigate those times with clarity, with patience, and authenticity. So, you know, one of the few things that I regret in the course of my life are the times that I made decisions that weren't from this grounded, authentic space, that I allowed myself to be swayed by other people's opinions and other people's thoughts of what was right to do in the circumstance, when my individual identity said that what was being suggested to me was not okay. And I did it anyway because I wasn't connected with my authentic self and my own personal values in that moment of crisis. So I can't recommend this enough for not only preventing regret, but also empowering you to make difficult decisions, and also giving you the efficiency that you need to live your life with authenticity, from sun up to sundown. So you want more power for healing. You want more power for daily living. You want more cope in your cope bucket. Connect your circuits. Using the earth to have more peace, more tranquility, more presence. And without a doubt, what we just did was way more than just earthing. It's a better use of your life. It's a better use of your life force energy. And I can't encourage you strongly enough to do this practice regularly and to have a little patience if it didn't feel great this first time through, to keep repeating, keep coming back until it feels a little more practiced. Or you might find some ways that it's going to reach you a little bit better. You do it a little bit differently from your own concepts. Practice this one enough that you can go revise it and make it your own. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something. I had a blast sharing this information with you, and I hope that you'll be back. Know that we do these workshops once a month. They hit our YouTube channel on the fourth Tuesday of every month. The Whole Self Unity practitioners are going to be kind of rotating through. So each of us kind of has a wheelhouse. So mine tends to be sort of this Reiki woo-woo inner journey sort of stuff. I hope you find it useful no matter who you are. Connect with us though. Check out our other events. There's some links in the doobly-doo. If you don't know who we are, definitely subscribe. That helps us out. That helps us find the people who are interested in what we're presenting. And there's a blog post I wrote on this topic. So if you wanted to read more about the circuitry and how that actually works, I've got it in writing someplace. So, go check out the blog. That's in there too. Thanks for joining us today. And I hope to see you again here soon. I hope that you'll come back and take some classes or just visit us here with social media or on the YouTubes. So thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. We hope you enjoyed this free monthly offering. Please like, share, and comment to help us out. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to know when we next upload. And click the on-screen links to go to either the workshop playlist or our most recent video. You can also follow the links in the description to view our upcoming workshops and online classes from our webpage. We can't wait to meet you.